Hello there YouTube, MooHK back again with another programming video, and today I'm going to show you a little project that I've been working on, which is basically a reusable system to create and process commands. So if I run a little demo here, enter a command below, it'll ask for a command. So currently I have two commands, /test and /stop. So if I do /test, you'll see that it prints something, and then if I do /stop, it stops the program. Now to create this, only took 45 lines of code, and I'll actually I'll write it for you again so that I'll kind of go through it line by line. So I'm just going to create a new package here, and I'm going to create a new class. Let's call it test handler. Okay, so now we're going to import the scanner. We're going to make a main method. And then here we're going to do new test handler, just like that. Now let's make the constructor. In this constructor, we are just going to call the start method, and then we're going to run the start method. Okay. Actually, before this, I'm going to make a static Boolean variable called running, and we'll make him true to start with. This is just an example. Obviously, you'd start it with false and then make it true when everything actually starts, but it's not really relevant in this case. Ooh, it's good news. Always good news. Okay. Okay, so let's start off. Let's start writing the start method. Now, the way this works, there is a commands class, and that sort of processes your commands. Now, in order to make new commands, you need to extend that command class. I'll actually get to that. I'll start with first getting the input from the console. I'm just going to make a little console program like I did here. Nothing too ridiculous. I'm going to do, I actually accidentally got rid of my import before, no matter. Okay, now we're just going to do this. Actually, we're going to do it the other way. We're going to do it like this. What's the, what exactly is the problem? New mistake. There we go. Now, okay, so now we start getting a bit more technical. So we have our input. Oh, I might want to do something like this first. I want to do like welcome to my test command handler, and then over here I'll do something like I'll actually put all of this in the while loop. I'm going to do something like enter a command below. Okay, so now we have our input. Now the way my system works is that there is a list of commands which you have to populate using, populate with your own commands, and the way to get the commands from that list is by sending it a string, which is going to be the commands like /test. So you'll send that to the get command method, and you'll get the test command back as an object. So the way to do that, we'll do a command, and since it uses a bunch of generic stuff, I'm just going to put a question mark here. Temp equals command dot get command. I have to import that. And now we need to parse. In case there are parameters, we need to just get the command itself without the parameters. So I'll do command dot parse command and then send input. And get rid of this. Okay, so now we have our command object. We want to actually execute it now. So we'll just do temp dot check and execute. We don't actually want to call the check method. We'll do check and and now we need to get the parameters. So we'll do command dot parse params input, just like that. And now the command, all right, let's just run it like this and see what happens. Welcome to my test command handler, enter command below. So I'm going to do /test. Now you'll notice that we have a null pointer exception, and that is because we didn't actually populate the commands list, so there is no test command. So what we do, we'll just make a method here. And then call it in our constructor. Okay, so the way to add commands is as follows. You do command dot add, and then we do new. Let's just create the class first. So I'm going to go in the same package. I am, same package, create a class, test command, and I'm going to make it extend the command class. Now we need unimplemented methods since it's an abstract class, and we need a constructor. So we'll never actually really use the constructor. What is the issue here? Right. Now, what needs to happen is that we need to actually define what type of command this is, and we need to do it using the handler that we're going to use. So in this case, we're going to be using test handler. So right here, when we say public class test command extends command, we just need to do this. Of course, in your case, it's going to be whichever handler you're using. And let's just get rid of these and just do that again. There we go. Now, we'll never, like I said before, you'll never actually use the constructor except when doing this. So you can just leave it blank. What's important is this method, the execute method. So the test command, what we want it to do is basically print, a simple print. So the way to do it is we're going to do this dot message equals, this is test message. Just like that. That is what's going to happen when we execute. Now you'll notice that we're not printing anything, we're not doing anything, and the reason is because we're going to be doing that over here, but I'll show you in a second. So command.add new test command. I'm going to send this as the handler because that's our handler. The command is going to be /test, and the help, which is basically the usage, is going to be a simple test print. Minimum parameters is 0, maximum parameters is 0. But you can configure that depending on what command you'd like. And that's it. Now, if we run, let's see what happens. Enter a command below. So we added our test command, so if we do /test, notice it doesn't actually print anything. That is because we set the message, but we never actually printed it. So what we're going to do, after we check and execute, we're going to do system.out.println temp.getMessage. And then for the sake of organization, we're just going to print this out. So to sort of denote the end. So test, this is a test message. There we go. Now, this is this command is kind of useless since it only sets the message. Nothing really special about it. Let's actually make a command which does something. So I'm going to do a stop command. Now we got to make it extend the command, and then we're going to do a test handler just like before. And we're going to do the automatic methods. Now here what I actually want to do is I want to stop this while loop. So what I'm going to do, since we get our handler, which is, which is this basically, all we have to do is, we could just do this, for example. And then handler dot stop. Now we didn't actually make this method, so let's just go ahead and do that real quick. Let's do it under start. There we go. And that will change the running boolean to false, and we'll stop this while loop. Now let's just see how that works. Enter command below. We got a null pointer exception because we didn't actually add it to our commands list. So luckily, it only takes 2 seconds to add the command. Okay, let's run it now. Enter command below. And there we go. And it quit the program. So you can really do a lot of stuff with this. A cool way to utilize these commands is to actually make a help command. Just do that real quick. So here what we want to do is we want to set the message. We want to actually print out the usage of whatever command we send. We want to basically print this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, what are we going to do? We're going to do this dot message equals command dot I'm forgetting. All right. We do a command dot get command, and now it's going to be the first parameter, so it's going to be the string at place 0 of the params array dot get help. Now we just got to add it to our commands list. Whoops. Minimum parameters in this case is going to be 1, and the maximum parameters in this case is going to be 1. Now, if we run it, if we do help without any parameters, it'll tell us that we are missing parameters. If we do help and then we give it more than one parameter, well, it should take too many parameters, but kind of, achieves the same thing. So if we actually do help test, Okay, so I found out what the issue was, and it was this here. This needs to be next line so that it will actually take what comes after any spaces instead of just this without this. So now if we run that, let's just see if it works. Enter command below, help, missing parameters, help, and let's just give it 2 parameters, too many parameters. If we do help test, a simple test print. That's right, help help will be prints the usage of a command. If we do something like, it'll also work if you put a slash in front of it. And if you provide a command which doesn't exist, you will get a null pointer exception. So I mean, it's kind of ugly, but you could do something like if command.get command. This is of course in the execute method. Equals null. This dot message equals command.found, and then return. So now let's have a look. There we go. So it's really easy to play around with this, and yeah, I mean, I could show you an actual use for this system. I actually used it for an IRC chat client. I'm going to show that right now. All right, here we go. So now we're chatting in a channel which I created, and you'll notice that this is where we send messages from, and you can actually use commands here. So if I do /help, it'll actually print all the possible commands out. Have a look over these. These are all IRC commands. So if I do something like /me tests these commands out, it'll actually work properly. So yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching.